Alright, we'll use the less clicky mouse for as long as its charge holds out, then we might have to ditch it. I did hit start just to gather some people. We only have 2 waiting according to YouTube, which is shockingly low for me, so I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna be depressed, but I am gonna cry a little bit. Then we might have to ditch it. Alright. We're good. Audio check's good. In-cars is here. I'll do the intro to the stream in a little bit. We have more than 3 people here. And I'm done being sad. 2 night runners. What up, Jeremy? What up, World Beater? Just type into Lenorm. Alright. Incars is not here. I don't know what you're talking about. Lies. Hi, Dreaded Saurian. How you doing? How you doing? We are trying to locate our first challenger. We have a Smurf on your hands. What? I didn't kill no Smurf. Not this time. What up, Cash? Hey, Hayseed's here. Alright, I'm gonna message Hayseed and make sure he understands what's going on. Yo, yo! You leave 2.6k unspent. Alright, I've answered all my outstanding messages. People are slowly gathering. I suppose I could do the introduction. So we don't need actually a blocker. Let me get back into the game and fix that. Boom! We're looking at In-Cars' army. Now you might immediately be like, Hume Boy, what the actual frick, my dude? You are not blocking the army. We have 1,500 gold. What is happening in this format? Well, it is Gladiator. It is one of my favorite formats. I made it up myself. That's not a meme for once. I actually did make it up. It's a King of the Hill, sort of, where the person on the hill, in cars, in this case, takes an army of his choosing, which he chose High Elves, and he spends 15k funds. His opponent then picks against them, knowing what the enemy's army is, using only the normal quick battle amount of 12.4k funds, the usual stuff. Now, you might be like, how the hell is the Chaos player supposed to ever win this? Well, he's not. He's not right away. You see, In-Cars' build, the High Elves, is static. It is an army that is marching through the world, trying to accomplish an objective that I will narrate for you. Anybody that dies in this army stays dead. And that wounded army goes from battle to battle, and we see how long they can last and how their story goes. Right? Right. So here, pretty simple start. We have Toryavres. Shush, that's Toryavres. Toryavres chilling there. Eltharion up in his watchtower, as he usually is, sees smoke on the horizon. Looking out over the plains, he sees Kolek Suneater and a bunch of fucks coming towards him. He doesn't really know what this is about, so he's going to march forth with his armies to defend Toryavres like they have since Grom the Paunch raided oh so long ago. Pretty standard fare. Now, In-Cars, when he loses units, he can spend the money on the units he already has, so he can get chevrons for stuff he has. He can give Eltharion a mount. He can give Eltharion more spells and more abilities. So if you do play this format on my channel quite a bit, or at least watch it, you do notice some strategies where people will start off very bare bones on their lord, because they know they'll be getting some money back to make him more upgraded. No point limiting your army by upgrading him right away. Jeremy, Kill the King is pretty good. I'm hoping to do more of that now that I'm back. I haven't been able to make as much content that I wanted to. Not that I didn't want to make the Warp Cup, but like the Warp Cup was taking up a lot of my time, and then the wedding, and then real life stuff. So now that the Warp Cup is done and my real life stuff has settled down, I'm hoping to get back into more of a good blend of competitive and fun formats, because I do like both. So for the King's army that we'll be following here, we have a bunch of Silver Helms and Dragon Princes. Silver Helms and Dragon Princes everywhere. We have triple Sisters of Avalorn, 1 Archer with Light Armor, a front line of Spearmen, and 2 Phoenix Guard in the center, with, of course, Eltharion and 1 Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower. On the other side, for the Warriors of Chaos challenging him, Hayseed is just looking... Now remember, you're just looking to shatter or kill units. If they rout off the map, but they aren't shattered, they're chilling. They can come back after the battle, they're fine. He has Chaos Warhounds of Khorne, Dragon Ogres, a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, there it is. Kolek Suneater, his favorite lord, as far as I am aware. Chaos Sorcerer Slaanesh with, looks like Rampage and Hysterical Frenzy. Then some Marauders of Khorne, basic Marauders elsewhere, Summoners of Rage, and more Chaos Warhounds of Khorne. It is always, always, always a mistake in this format. It is always a mistake in this format to take on the larger army just straight up and try and win it as you would win a normal game. You really need to whittle down this army, so like pick 1 or 2 units that you are going to absolutely fuck up and destroy them, so that the next person fighting the king has an easier time. I think legitimately Anticity went on a run of like 23 victories in a row, because so many people were fighting him and just like doing, 60% damage to his entire army, but not shattering anything, and then 60% damage to his entire army, not shattering anything, and I'm like... Metagame a bit, my sons! Kill the front line! Like, maybe shatter 2 spearmen, and then his front line in the next game's a little thinner, and then shatter 2 more spearmen. All of a sudden he has no front line to protect his archers. Don't just throw your army across the entire front line and slowly lose, because he has 3,000 more gold than you! What lord most closely resembles Zach Brannigan? Yeah, 5 verbiting is super right. It's Sigvald. Sigvald is just Zach Brannigan. So Kolek and the boys moving up. Kolek doing a little bit of juking, also relying on his scaly skin missile resistance to keep him a little bit safe. A little bit. The Marauder frontline is rather pathetic. I mean, they're just not going to get through High Elf Spearmen in any amount of time, so it is going to be on the Dragon Ogres, all of the Dragon Ogres, to get some sort of kills done. Jeremy, $50 for a prize pool for a Kill the King tournament. Alright, now I have to put it on my to-do list. I'll get it done for you, boss. Don't you worry. Thanks for the donation, brother. Hope you are well. Hope you are doing good. I won't dox you, but you are south of me, and I hope you're chilling out there. Honest question, what if the Lord dies? He has to replace it with a generic melee Lord, which for the High Elves would be a disaster, because then he would have no spellcaster. Golek and the Dragon Ogres are going in. It looks like they are focusing a little bit on these cavalry, which is a Dragon Ogre specialty after all, but it could be good to take out some of that mobility. Maybe if you can sneak a dog in onto the Bolt Throwers, that could also be pretty huge. Could be nice. But here we go, the Silver Helms already losing half their HP in the fight with Kolek and the Dragon Ogres. Inkars has to be careful, he can't let them fully shatter or die, just needs to hold long enough for the Sisters of Avalorn to get their damage up. It doesn't look like that damage is going to be fast enough. The Silver Helms may be good for themselves, are routing, which will take them away, but can the dogs finish them off? We'll see, as Dragon Princes dive in to intercept the rest of the Dragon Ogres and Kolek. They'll be okay. The Marauder front line is doing very poorly, which you would expect. I mean, they're super cheap and they're fighting a bunch of High Elf Spears. But that's not a real show. Chaos wasn't expecting them to win. Chaos wanted to get the flanks done. And yes, one of the dogs got back onto the Eagle Bolt Thrower. Can they kill this crew quickly enough? Can they shatter them off the map? It looks like they might just be able to. That's a lot of damage as Eltharion also dives in. And the Dragon Prince is also routing. And I need to keep my eye on those Silver Helms who have shattered. We have lost a Silver Helm for the High Elf army. It is official. But the Eagle Bolt Thrower is only routing. It is not shattered. And the dogs that were chasing it are going to shatter. And we have some Dragon Ogres, Dragon Ogre Shaggoths chilling on the far side. It looks like a lot of Hayseed's micro is focused on these units in here and on his dogs chasing off the Silver Helms. So he might have forgotten them briefly. They are coming in now, but we'll see if that ends up hurting him too much. Eltharion's taking a lot of damage. Kolek has a lot of anti-large, and Eltharion is a halberd character, but still, you know, he can put a walloping on him. So Eltharion needs to be careful. He's retreating into his Phoenix Guard, and the Sisters of Avalorn are just pummeling Kolek, so I think he's just going to hope to kill Kolek and then maybe apotheosis himself back up to health. I think the last real hope for Hayseed to get some work done is, like, maybe you can Lord Snipe Eltharion. He's going for it, but mostly I think these Dragon Ogres got a suicide for the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, but this is actually a little intense. I'm not worried about the High Elves winning the game or not, but I am worried about Eltharion living to see the end of it. But the Sisters seem to have done enough peeling, especially with the Phoenix Guard nearby. Kolek is just going to charge at them, do a little bit of damage here and there. Dragon Ogres fighting Silverhelms is just normally a good fight for them, but time is running out for the Warriors of Chaos in this game. We still have a full health dog in the woods. If they can come in, if they can sneak through, they could shut down the Bolt Thrower. Doesn't look true for now. There's the Rampage on Eltharion. While he's rampaging, he can't apotheosis himself. Kolek is going to rout, though. That was a spooky time for the Warden of Victoria Breast, but doesn't look like he'll die. Looks like he'll be okay. And what have we lost so far? It's just a Silverhelm, right? So far, but then in comes a big charge onto the Bolt Throwers. Are the Dragon Ogres actually aiming for the Bolt Throwers, or are they chasing the Dragon Princes and happen to run into the Bolt Throwers? I think that's the truth. Army losses coming for the Warriors of Chaos. The Warriors are like, no, please, just a little more time. We're doing so much damage to the Dragon Princes. We can get them. No. Summoners of Rage and the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth are in here. The last stand of Chaos before Army losses is going to hit. They couldn't quite get the Dragon Princes. They haven't quite got the Eagle Bolt Thrower yet. And they're lucky Kolek hasn't shattered away yet. Otherwise, their leadership would dip too much. For now, Army losses is barely being kept at bay. I don't know how that Bolt Thrower crew is surviving this. Oh, they're over here! The flag is deceptive. They're just chilling on the sides. They're completely safe. And that'll be Army losses. I think Inkar's just lost a Silverhelm. Who would win? A late 15th century French army versus a Bretonian army? No magic. French army, because they don't treat their peasants nearly that poorly. So, like, longbowmen would actually be a big fucking problem for Bretonia. I think Bretonia would have better knights than France did in real life, because fantasy is always better than reality. But I think the fantasy style of battle tactics of Bretonia would not do well. Because, like, real-life France was pretty good at military stuff. Goodbye, Silverhelm. Man, that Dragon Prince, that Bolt Thrower, and Eltharion were all flirting with disaster. But they hung on. Boom! That there boy is out. Let's get our next person in here. That is Angel. Angel's up, then Olaf, then Johnny Cash, then Pigman. And we'll gather more people if we need them after that point. Angel is in. Why is Gotrek? You can't show up, you're not real to begin with. Oh, he sent me a GIF. Alright, he gifted me. He did done give me a GIF. What order did he sign up in? Right after Hayseed. What a legend. Alright. We'll throw Gotrek in after Angel. Looks like he spent the money to upgrade his Dragon Princess to the Fireborn. And Eltharion got Soul Quench as another spell. Looks like that's it for now. Angel is sitting on the Tomb Kings. Is that their faction. Okay, yeah, they're building Tomb Kings. Cool. So let's find ourselves a Tomb Kings map that makes sense. I love the Lost Crater. I'm going with the Lost Crater. What is the story for this event? So far it has been very boring because we literally got through the first one. So Eltharion was sitting in his tower. Kolek and a bunch of dragon ogres showed up. He was like, "What?" And then he proceeded out to kick their ass. Part 2 of the story comes when we start entering the game. Once I get the Tomb Kings, once I know what I'm dealing with for story time. Is it legal for the Gladiator to bring all unbreakable units? Yeah, because, I mean, you can still kill them. Like, undead. We've had undead gladiators before. Bretonian peasants see armored French pikes immediately run away and Monty Python faction. Yeah. It's true. Alright. Angel has spent a bunch of money. I believe I need to remind them that they need to leave 2.6k unspent because the Gladiator army is bigger. That's why I'm the host, so I can not ready up, so I can observe. Ungrim and 12 Slayers, let's go. Let's go. I made them reconsider their build because I'm a bad person. At least the Slayer armies have a bit more oomph to them now, with Doomseekers, Slayer Pirates, Goblin Hewer. So not every Slayer army is just a melee degenerate, like, single line formation. You can have some lads. You can have some boys. '15th century French army versus an Empire army. That's Empire all the way. That is Empire all the way. All the way. They have handguns. They have cannons, mortars, crossmen, state troops. Like, state troops, like, well-fed and trained professional soldiers is a huge boon. Like, even without the meme of just, like, oh, like, they have a steam tank, even though steam tanks are actually, like, super rare in the world. Like, even if you don't bring a steam tank, it's still just like you're so outclassed. All right. Eltharion, after pushing Kolek Suneater back, decides to figure out why dragon ogres made their way across the ocean and how they made their way across the ocean. So he mounts up a fleet from Lothern, pays them quickly to get him to the other shores, and goes back to the place where it all began. Grom the Paunch and the Badlands and all that stuff. And he lands on a sandy shithole and he goes, yeah, this looks like the Badlands to me. Takes about 10 to 15 steps and he realizes it's sand, not mud, and he's like, oh, I might have gone a bit off course. When all of a sudden, a big kitty cat appears, baps at him a little bit, seems curious, it seems fun. Well, Eltharion's not a fun guy, and he riddles that cat full of holes. His Sisters of Avalorn start its weird mummy wrapping on fire, and then this giant cat runs around on fire and eventually smolders into nothingness. Eltharion shrugs, starts to walk away, when the sands shift further, and a spooky, scary lady on a giant snake shows up and goes, "You just killed my cat, you fuck!" And then summons her entire army. They also all just pop out of the sand. So Khalida and her whole army are just like taking a nap right there on the shores next to, like, facing Ulthuan. They just happen to be sleeping there, sunbathing a little bit. And Eltharion killed her favorite kitty cat. So she's gonna kick his ass with her second kitty cat. That's also gonna die. Yeah, hey, see, you got close to getting Eltharion, but he was on foot, so he was spoopy. Eltharion killed Muka. What's his deal? So for the challenging Tomb King army, we have 4 Ushabti Greatbow, one of which is chosen of the gods. We have a Bone Giant as well, so that is a lot of shooting for the Tomb Kings. Skeleton Spearmen backing them up, a Necrotect, a Giant Kitty Cat, and Khalida with her Venom Staff. A lot of pew-pew in this army. Again, hoping they focus their fire. I'm not sure what the regular Ushabti Greatbow are going to be super great at shooting, but the Chosen of the Gods are fantastic for this type of event because they're just so good at doing spread out damage and getting things nice and low. And the Bone Giant can also do some good sniping. One Eagle Bolt Thrower is not really going to be a threat to all these guys, so they're not too worried about shooting the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower quickly. They do need to focus fire, as Inkars has quickly realized he needs to move up and fast. So these Ushabti aren't going to get a lot of time to shoot. The High Elves have better melee, they have better mobility. We'll see what these guys can get done in the limited time they have. Apotheos is trying to heal up this Sister of Avalon that's already taken a good amount of damage. They're falling back. Silverhelm's charging up at the Chosen of the Gods. Chosen of the Gods going to arc back towards their spearmen lines. Fall back to secondary positions as the Staff of Asaf does a lot of damage to Sister of Avalon. Nice job, nice job. Good sniping so far, but can they finish the deal? Silverhelms have caught up to the Chosen of the Gods, and the big spooky kitty cat gets a rear charge onto them. Really good damage, actually, for the spooky kitty cat. And Khalida, again, going for the Lord Snipe on Eltharion. Like Kolek before her, but the Fireborn are a hell of a drug. But is it all a bait? All of the Ushabti turn in towards the Fireborn. They are ready to do some damage, but can Khalida even hold on to make it worth it? And the Chosen of the Gods, unfortunately, are busy, but they would love to mulch through these super clumped up Fireborn. The kitty has saved the day, and what can the Chosen of the Gods do about this moment? Eltharion's taking some damage, but so has Khalida. Fireborn down to about half HP, and I don't even know if he has Apotheosis soft cooldown to help them. But the Chosen of the Gods have got to get involved, and they are turning. They are firing with those big cluster arrows into this area. Khalida's going to die, but we don't care about that. The Tomb King's army is fated to die. We know it's going to die. It's all about the Fireborn afterwards. Khalida is down. Bone Giant's falling back. It looks like the Dragon Princess will survive for now. They're getting Apotheosis to heal up, and the Chosen of the Gods with other Ushabti Greatbows are again falling back because they have to. But the Giant Kitty Cat is undeterred, going after Sister Avalon, who've already taken so much damage, trying to use his impact to get rid of them as the Fireborn and Eltharion go for him. But again, if the Ushabti can find a spot to shoot, they can do okay work from up there, but they're being pressured out of range of the Fireborn. So they might have to target something else, something a little bit closer. It looks like they picked this other Sister of Avalon for now, as the Cameron War Sphinx is doing a good job distracting. If it keeps moving, it's very hard for Fireborn to get it a good surround. It looks like it is getting stopped up here and there. Tomb Kings have gotten a lot of good damage value out. Of course, they have more damage value they need to get compared to their enemy, who has a bigger army, but still. Chosen of the Gods need to be firing. This spear front line is going to hold for a little bit, but not forever. And what do we have on the back line here? It looks like some Silverhelms that were routed once. Ooh, the Ushabti are going to try and take them out. Yeah, they were routed once. If you can route them 2 more times, they'll shatter, or maybe just get a bunch of burst damage. As in comes the Kitty Cat of Doom! It ain't running away, it's running in! Does a bunch of collision damage down the side of these guys. Clumps everybody up again. I know the Chosen of the Gods are doing some good work back here with these other Ushabti. They are going to take out another Silverhelm, but like, look at this clump. I wish they were here to punish this clump, but they're doing other good work, so can't be too critical. It's just a dream. Another Silverhelm is shattered, though. Man, the Silverhelm's just taking it for the High Elf army. Bone Giant fires down the line. Cameron War Sphinx still refusing to give up on chasing down the Sisters of Avalorn, even though they've gotten some healing. And this other sister is actually primed to die, as the Bone Giant's firing at them too. And where are all of the Ushabti shooting? Ooh, they're destroying another Silverhelm. What? Why do we hate the Silverhelms so much? Everybody is fucking killing them. Oh, that annoying kitty cat will not go down. As the Ushabti are taking out the other Sisters of Avalorn. Bone Giant's about to crumble away. These Silverhelms, though, they have plenty of leadership. They should be able to get to safety without shattering. I think your next target, to be honest, is probably this. Sister of Avalon is the only real one you can actually, like, hope of shattering at this point. Because that Silverhelm's going to be okay. We still have the Chosen Gods. Chosen Gods could do some serious stuff. Someone has attack orders onto them. I know it's the Bone Giant. I thought I saw one of the Ushabti had it too. Fireborn take a shellacking as well. And the Tomb Kings are holding up. They're holding up indeed. The damage is getting a little spread, though, and that's all I'm worried about is the Fireborn take another shot. Are they going to shatter? How many times have they routed? Take a lot of damage, but they aren't shattered just yet. Neither of that Sister of Avalon and a Soul Quench also hits the Khemrian War Sphinx. They are trying to save those sisters, as I need to take a real wide view of the map. I think the Tomb Kings are hoping the Fireborn come back and then just rout again for... Oh, there it is! They shattered! The Fireborn and a Silverhelm are gone. These sisters with no HP are going to hang in there just because High Elves are a strong, brave race. The Khemrian War Sphinx finally goes down, and Apotheosis is trying to counteract the damage coming in from the Chosen the Gods that are trying to chase those sisters off, and Inkars might want to back them off and just get them to safety. Without the Bone Giant, the Tomb King's range is significantly reduced, so you could actually, like, walk back to safety with some efficacy, as Eltharion is going to charge uphill into Shopti. Oh, he got upgraded on horseback, so they could actually do pretty good damage on him if he's not good at juking, which, oh, he was doing some good juking, now he's going straight in! Ah! Already made it, he's fine. Skeleton Spearman front line is starting to fall apart. Silverhelms are moving in. I think they were playing really far back, and yeah, you can see as soon as the Chosen Gods turn to face them, they book it. They immediately get orders out of here. Inkars knows what's up. He's like, I thought it was safe, I thought it was safe, I thought it was safe. And he starts running for the hills. Meanwhile, Ushabti Summon is out onto the front line. Kind of surprised it wasn't back onto that Sister of Avalon just to really mess them up, or maybe onto the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower. But is going to use it to try and support the front line for now, while the Ushabti just throw guard mode on, and again are trying to fire at that super wounded sister. And in fact, the melee Ushabti, yeah, fuck the front line fight, we're going into the back. Dive onto the archers with light armor. Sister's falling back. Eltharion's chilling. Everybody's chilling, and this Sister of Avalon, man. They've routed 2 times. If they rout a 3rd time, they will shatter, but for now they're holding. Army loss is going to take the Tomb King soon. It was a valiant attempt to take out that Sister of Avalon, but it looks like they will hold on, as this Ushabti is getting some serious work done on these sisters in melee. But again, army loss is right around the corner. You have to think these sisters are going to die before they shatter. I mean, not die. The Tomb Kings will die before these sisters shatter, right? I say that, but they are taking so much damage. They're getting absolutely mulched. Oh, but army loss is hitting. No, Tomb Kings, no, you gotta hold on. You gotta take him with you. No. Hell of a job there from Angel. And that sister barely clinging to life. But another Silverhelm bites the dust, as do the Fireborn. Eltharion is quickly gonna become a fully kitted out lad. But I worry about his boys. Alright, let's get Gotrek in here. When I figure out what faction he's playing, I will pick the next map, because I usually base it on the faction we're fighting. So we'll go Gotrek, Olaf, Johnny Cash, Pigman. And if Inkars makes it all the way through Pigman, then he will win the stream. If he doesn't make it all the way to Pigman, then it is what it is. Then I'll just have to fight him. Gotrek immediately pops over to Empire. Looks like he's ready. I gotta pick a map, don't I? Empire. What's that Reichland Estates? Is it the Reichland Estates? That's a good, flat, open map. There's forest on one side you can advance up, but it's fine. I don't want to hover over Inkar's army for a reason. I might have done a little bit of sneaking. Oh, he banned Empire. I see. I see. He banned Skaven, Kislev, Bretonnia, Empire, and Dwarves. What a poo-poo stinky head. Okay. We had a little whoopsie. The king of the hill is allowed to ban 5 factions, but they have to stay the same throughout the whole stream, and he banned Empire. So Gotrik's gonna have to do a quick rethink on his build. I know you saw that, Jet Bardu. I know. I had to check it quick. Can you ask CA to buff Silverhelm? Sure, brother. Gotrek is flipping to Beastmen quick, so he'll build an army, and we'll get into it. With Beastmen, Reichland Estates is fine, but let's do Bloodpine Woods. It's a little more Beastman-y. He had his build ready to go. Yeah. I didn't notice that Empire was banned. Oh shit, Gottrik's ready. No! Ah! Ah! Alright, we're getting into game. So, Eltharion trudges, and he trudges, and he trudges. And he gets through the desert after killing Khalida and the Tomb Kings. But then, he hears the howling in the distance. He hears the howling. It's getting louder. And as he proceeds north, trying to figure out where these dragon ogres came from, and he knows the Chaos Wastes house the dragon ogres, so he's heading north towards that. But the howling keeps getting louder and louder and louder. And soon he has beastmen on his tail. A lot of them. And as Inkar's pointed out in the Discord chat, he's lost most of his Silverhelms. He lost most of his Dragon Princes, so he doesn't have any mobility to keep them at bay. He needs to find a safe space to form a guard, and he does. He forms a defensive box on top of a hill. He holds back the beastmen day and night. And on the 4th night, they almost break through, but he manages to throw them back again. And all the beastmen start chanting, "Dark, Omen, dark, Omen, dark, Omen, dark, Omen." And a massive Cygor, the Eye of Morsleep, famous across the world for being a terrifying monster, its piercing gaze will root you in place out of sheer terror, comes in with a crow, Malagor, on his shoulder, pointing at the High Elf army. And as they are worried their time has come, a dragon soars over the hills and flies down to speak with Eltharion. Eltharion looks up at Prince Imric, popping down. Imric chastises him briefly for being such a surly asshole all the time, and for killing Khalida, who was the guardian of the East for the Nehekar Desert, keeping the beastmen at bay. Eltharion is now unwittingly, because he killed her, unleashed the Beastmen hordes upon the world, and they followed his dumbass north. So he is drawing them onwards. Imric's flying down to take care of this once for all before the Beastmen are in his backyard as well. Because on the campaign map, he's kind of in the Dark Cleanse area. So, whatever. But Imric's going to pop over and try and put this beastly rebellion to bed. And help out his bro, Eltharion. So why does he have 2,600 unspent gold, Shadow? Swiss Pikemen pointed it out, but the High Elf army is our protagonist narratively, so they're kind of like supposed to, quote-unquote, win most of the fights while they get whittled down. So they have more funds to facilitate that narrative. All right, so I did message Incars after the last battle, and I said, hey, I have the multiple lords ticked on. Feel free to take any other lord you please. Keep Eltharion, but grab another lord because I wanted, I wanted a lord to come in and say hi. So he picked Imric, and then I had to think about how that would go. So we now have Imric on his dragon, Eltharion with Apotheosis and Soul Quench. He's still on horseback. And then, of course, we still have the 3 Sisters of Avalorn, 1 archer with light armor in there, Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower, only 1 Silverhelm now for flank defense, some Phoenix Guard, and Spearmen. On the other side, for the Beastmen who are trying to kill these High Elves, we have Malagor with Doom and Darkness and Flock of Doom. A lot of mobility. Centaurs, as far as the eye can see, some are of Tzeentch, some are regular. Chaos Warhounds with Poison 2, Ungor Spearmen, and then Pestigors, Korok's Man Rippers I saw in here, with the Butchers of Kalkengard, and we do have an Eye of Morsleep to try and hit those Phoenix Guard, or punish them. And actually quite a lot of damage coming in for the Sisters of Avalorn already. And a Soul Quench plus an unholy volley of arrows slamming these Pestigors. But Imric is rolling out, and Imric might just take the fight to the Eye of Morsleep. I don't think he knows the Butchers of Kalkengard are lurking here in ambush, so that will be interesting to see what happens there. Meanwhile, the 1 Silverhelm is doing his very best to keep the Beastmen at bay, doing everything he can to keep the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower online. It doesn't look like it's going to be enough, but the Beastman trap is sprung. Imric is fighting the Eye of Morsleep, but the Eye of Morsleep has Warp Gaze in its arsenal. That's the only net that the Beastmen have, so I imagine Imric is going to get netted right in front of the Butchers of Kalkengard here. That is probably going to come to pass. I need to keep my eye over there in case anything shatters or something that I have to deal with. But looks like Gotrek's focus might be elsewhere, as he is busy trying to, kill the entire High Elf army. Silverhelm held admirably, and somehow the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower has withstood the test of time. But Imric is trapped. There's the Warp Gaze. He is now netted. He cannot move. The High Elf's holding well for now, but that is the death of the final Silverhelm is gone. Gone. Sister Avalorn going to get a little bit of healing from Eltharion to try and keep them alive, but Malagor's jumping in. He even pops Doom and Darkness just to get that leadership nice and low. As Centaurs charge in, looks like we'll have lost a Silverhelm and one of the Sisters of Avalorn. At last, those Sisters of Avalorn, they've been holding forever. They've been hanging out with this High Elf army, but maybe one of them will finally die with the Doom and Darkness. Plus something wicked here this way comes. He has multiple leadership debuffs he's trying to really utilize. There's a nice Flock of Doom. Sisters of Avalorn look like they're just going to flat out die instead of ever routing. But dogs are in. The Phoenix Guard are just trying to peel, just trying to keep this alive. And I'm really impressed that Incars has managed to keep this Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower online for as long as he had. Also, speaking of impressed, how the hell is Imric still alive? But the Sisters of Avalorn are going to slink away. It looks like Malagor is not about to let them do so, but they are being sneaky. They're trying to sneak away. As the Spearman's also taking a lot of damage. A lot of super low health bars here for the High Elves. I am concerned I will not be able to track them all. Looks like this one. 58 HP on the Sisters of Avalorn. You have to think they're gonna fucking die. There they go. They finally shatter, but so too do some of the dogs. And we lost a Spearman as well. A Spearman, a Silverhelm, and Sister of Avalorn. Spearman, Silverhelm, Sister of Avalorn. Spearman, Silverhelm, Sister of Avalorn. There should be 4 archers here, so it looks like another one is missing. They must have died. We have 2 Sisters of Avalorn left, so it looks like the archer with light armor is dead as well. The High Elf army is taking a beating. It looks like, I'm guessing they will win this battle, but what could possibly be left on the other side for them? Sisters taking some more damage. Again, Malagor jumps in with that Doom and Darkness. He's trying to get them to rout. Another Spearman on the front line dies. And I think he's trying to use the Doom and Darkness to get stuff to rout outside of the box so he can chase it down in the open with his superior mobility. The High Elves still have a lot of Phoenix Guard. They still have spooky, scary Imrik, and they have Eltharion the Grim, which is going to be a big problem for the Beastmen to take out to win this game. But as far as the army goes, the army will probably be in dire straits. Alright, more Sisters of Avalorn are routing. They get Apotheosis, try and heal them up. No, it's the Phoenix Guard, they're getting the Apotheosis. They're hanging. How is this Bolt Thrower still alive? These guys are like Navy SEALs, man. They're just slipping and sliding and ducking and dodging. They can never be stopped, and they're still on their mounts as the Sisters of Avalorn rally just enough to shoot at the Centaurs to rout them away from the Bolt Thrower crew of the gods. Nothing stops them. They have slid through so many battles, man. Another Flock of Doom onto these Sisters of Avalorn. Well, those Sisters of Avalorn, I guess these guys didn't get hit by, but Malagor's also going to chase them off. It is a bloodbath. Well, Imrik and Eltharion might make it through. Who even goes with them? Or do they even make it through? I guess, yeah, they will. They're fighting on top of Phoenix Guards. It's not like the Butcher's Cloud Guard just solo carry. I was getting worried for a second. But is the invincibility curse lifted at last as this Ungor Spearman herd managed to get out of the Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower? Spearmen are running over like, no, don't you do it! Don't take my Eagle Claw Bolt Thrower crew. They've been through so much. They take so much damage all of a sudden. 140 HP, negative 12 leadership, but they're gonna hold for now. Hold health-wise, not hold leadership-wise. Obviously, their leadership is fucking toast. But they're chilling. At this point, it's much easier for me to just count what's still alive than to keep track of what's routed. There's a Spearman over there that's still technically in it. Spearman over here that's still technically in it. High Elves on so much copium about their leadership right now. But Malagor can easily chase off the Bolt Thrower. Neltharion's Star Barrage, Mistwalker's Barrage? Mistwalker's Barrage trying to help him out a little bit as Butcher's Cloud Guard are getting Lord of Dragons, which Eltharion should have pretty crazy melee stats, and then when they're getting Lord of Dragons, they have like no melee attack. But there's so much stuff over here that Imrik has to get over here and peel off the Korok's Man Rippers at least to keep Eltharion alive. The High Elves have a good number of routing units. The Bolt Thrower crew is fucking back, but it looks like Centaurs are going for them as we speak. Centaurs are going in, but Eltharion's routing, and that is the Mage of the High Elves. Getting taken out. Bolt Thrower crew. Run down by Centaurs. They should die at last. Looks like the Butchers can't chase down Eltharion. He is faster than them. Yes, he is. So he's going to rally and come back, and that should be enough for the High Elves to win it. Because they can get some healing. Imrik can recharge them, and they'll be just fine. Malagor is a lot of balance of power that isn't going to matter versus Imrik and Eltharion in the late game. But we have Pestigor is routing off, Korok's Man Ripper is routing off, and Eltharion is doing his best to just run out and around to get back to Imrik, who looks like Imrik's going to dive in. This is getting risky, though, because Imrik, if he dives in to save Eltharion, he has to do it without Phoenix Guard. The Phoenix Guard are nowhere nearby. They're trying to be, but they are nowhere nearby. We have one Spearman that's gotten all the way to the edge of the map, so if the High Elves manage to win this game, they will get that Spearman back. Another Spearman. Looks like it died entirely, so that one is gone. Eltharion on the ground. Apotheosis for himself. Imrik not getting attack orders onto the Butchers. Looks like he's just looking for a good angle. The Eye of Morsley being ignored as it only has 0. It has 0 shots left. It is now just a half-assed giant. I think the High Elves are going to win this, but at what cost? But at what cost? Warp Gaze is out onto Eltharion. The Butchers of Kalkengard are lining up for a big downhill charge. They really want to take out this caster. Maybe if Imrik is the only thing to go into the next battle, he won't have a caster. Maybe that's much easier to kill him. Here comes all the Phoenix Guard onto the Butchers of Kalkengard, but a rear charge in from Imrik doing so much damage. Can the High Elves hold as the Doom and Darkness takes out some of them? These Phoenix Guard down to 16 HP, and they're running for it. He is running for it, but he shatters. You cowardly Phoenix Guard, motherfucker. All right, everything left for the High Elf army is on your screen besides one Spearman that did technically rout. and he got off the map, so he got to safety. Imrik is bodying this fight, but what else gets taken with him is this Spearman's going to tear her out away. Another Mistwalker's Barrage in from Eltharion, and Malagor even tries in to try and take out the Warden of Tori of Rest. He's sick of his shit. Everybody's sick of his shit. Eltharion's so OP. He's been so OP for so long. People are like, what are you talking about? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's the best Lord in the whole game! As the Spearman gets away, Malagor is going to go chase it down, but Imrik is slamming this Eye of Morsleep. And just like my narrative at the start of this battle suggests, Imrik coming in to save the day. Without him, the High Elves would have been doomed. As he is putting this game on his back, he is the Warden of the New World. The Old World. The Old World? Yeah, it's new to the High Elves. Butcher's Account Guard and Malagor peeling off to take out the Spearman. Gotrek knows how to play this specific game mode. He knows what he needs to do. He's got to pick everything off. As the High Elf army is down to Eltharion, Imrik, a Phoenix Guard, and then a Spearman if he survives the night. Technically this Spearman too, but I really doubt they're going to get off this battlefield. As Gotrek is force pathing his Butcher's Account Guard onto it. He's like, no, they will not escape me. Finally, they stop to fight Eltharion for a bit. Malagor is going to deal with these Spearmen himself. Gets a couple little whoa, 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 whoa. What was that? What's he doing? Just running around in circles like an absolute madman as these Spearmen hold, and Eltharion's like, don't you fucking break. Don't you do it. Other Mistwalker's Barrage comes in and honestly hits more of Imrik than the Butchers, and these Spearmen are like, please, get to the edge of the map. No, they shatter. No for the High Elves, yes for the Beastmen. Lord of Dragons is out. Imrik dives in. The Butchers put a half-hearted attempt in killing Eltharion, but I think that ship has sailed. I think they know they can't do it, especially with Lord of Dragons on cooldown here. It's a 9 melee attack for them versus 67 melee defense of Eltharion. Yeah, this shit ain't going nowhere. The Butchers are gone, and the High Elves will survive, but at what cost, my friends? But at what cost? All right, Olaf the Moose. All right, Olaf the Moose is up, and a masterclass from Gotrek for how to neuter these poor High Elves. Okay. GG's. GG's. We'll get Olaf in here. Now, for a little bit of suspense, for a little bit of surprise, I need to take you to I'll take you to the YouTube chat. You can watch your own YouTube chat while I discuss some things. Wait, why are you guys... Oh, you're on the left screen. Boo. Alright, alright. Spoilers already. Boo. I wanted to keep it a surprise. Hold on, I'm up to some schemes. What does that take you for stats? Okay, that's fine. Cool. Let's get Slaanesh. Where's the Pleasure's Reach? Yeah, it's the map. All right, let's go. I feel like there's a slicing shards of the very bad results for me coming. Alright, sorry. Olaf's readying up and then un-up and then up. Does he know we can see the Discord chat? No, I mixed up which screen I was trying to show you. I was trying to show you the right screen so you couldn't see what I was doing because it was going to be a fun surprise. All right. So Imric asks Eltharion what Eltharion's doing so far from Tor Yvresse, and Eltharion's like, "Well, I'm gonna go kick the shit out of some dragon ogres." And Imric looks around at a single spearman and a phoenix guard, and Eltharion, he goes, "Dude, no, you're not." He's like, "Okay, well, like, I was, and then everybody died, Imric." And Eltharion starts to like push him, and Imric's pushing him, and they're pushing each other. And what they haven't really noticed is they're getting awfully close to one of those campaign portals. You know, the portals that are in the Darklands? So, as they slip into that portal while they're busy fighting, they all of a sudden are overcome with a sense of calm. And they look around, and around them they see the most beautiful creatures ever. And they see a beautiful elf maiden with crab claws that doesn't bother them at all. And this beautiful elf maiden says, "Oh, Imric Eltharion, you're here just in time. Please, save me from these dark elves. Dark elves have..." Why is the setting on the AI normal? "Save me from these dark elves. They've come to burn our villages." And Imric and Eltharion and the Phoenix Guard and the Spearmen, being the good high elves they are, I mean, they were prompted to come all this way because their homes were attacked. So they're like, "Well, of course we'll help you, dear elven brethren, and we'll fight these nasty dark elves." Meanwhile, on the other side, Teclis, in the middle of trying to stop a Slaanesh invasion that was forming on the northern coasts, like above Ulthuan, you know how there's Chaos Wastes up there? Teclis took a high elf army under the banner of the Phoenix King and was like clearing out an invasion before it even got started. And he all of a sudden sees Eltharion and Imric thoroughly entranced by Slaanesh magic, and he's like trying to break through them, like, "Wake up, you fucking idiots!" As Imric and Eltharion are gonna go body his army. What is this fan fiction? This is Gladiator, my friend. All right. On the other, it looks like Teclis brought himself a whole bunch of Shadow Warriors. So he got some of the... Actually, that works really well. The Nagaraith warriors. The Shadow Warriors are of Lost Nagaraith. So they're a Lethanar's kin. He got some of them together to help him deal with these Slaaneshi cultists. So we have the Heralds of the Wind, the Grey, other Shadow Warriors, Teclis, and then Swordmasters of Hoeth, Rangers, and the Fireborn in the distance. Imric Eltharion and the Keepers of the Flame, the Scions of Mathlan, going to try and support the Slaaneshi army, but the Slaaneshi army is piloted by the AI. So Inkars will have to do his best to support a not-so-smart allied force. Now Nakari and the boys, assured that they will get victory because the High Elves would never fire on their own, and relying on that chaos, Nakari is boldly leading from the front, which is not advantageous when you are dealing with a whole bunch of archers, as Nakari is going to find out. for Nakari's and the Slaanesh supportive army, we have some Chaos Knights of Slaanesh. We do have some Devoted Marauders of Hell Scourges, a Soul Grinder, and of course, Nakari themselves. Eltharion is netted. It looks like Teclis is sick of his shit. I wonder, is he going to fire on Eltharion, or is he just netting him for his own good? Like, you stay there for a second. It looks like he's going to try and fire on him. As he continues to fall back, Soul Quenches out through the Shadow Walkers, does a lot of damage. Man, Imric and Teclis are doing a great job as far as the narrative goes, because they are bodyguarding for Nakari so hard right now. Why is it every single game Eltharion gets his ass handed to him? Alright, Soul Grinder, Nakari, into the fight with the Fireborn. Nakari is AI controlled, so there's nothing Incars can do to change this situation. As the Bound Fiery Convocation from Teclis goes out to try and catch some of these Devoted Marauders. Again, this isn't AI, they will not dodge. It was a kind of predictive shot, though, so didn't want to hit his own Sword Masters and whatnot, which makes sense. And this is going to be huge. Big overcasted net onto Eltharion and Imric right in front of all these archers, and Eltharion's already a little low, but elsewhere, Slaanesh's Chaos Knights have come to the rescue, diving in onto the Shadow Warriors and the Heralds of the Wind. Getting a little bit of damage out, but the Fireborn are going to bounce out here, and they will make quick work of these Chaos Knights of Slaanesh. Nakari, meanwhile, is taking a beating. And if Olaf has 6,400 gold value. Wow. Anyway, if Olaf can kill off Nakari, maybe he can shock Slaanesh's leadership enough to get some of these guys out of here, as Eltharion and Imric are taking so much damage. The Shadow Warriors are falling back. Fireborn have successfully peeled for the Heralds of the Wind. And that is going pretty well. Rangers are terror routing away from the Imric charge in. Swordmasters of Hoeth and other Rangers are also out as the kiting continues. And Nakari has survived thus far, is moving up to try and deal with some Olaf's forces. But oh, AI, have you gone in too deep and too greedily? Those Fireborn could turn around and murk Nakari, like, instantly. But Imric's being a good general, leading the Slaaneshi forces to victory against his beloved High Elves. His Soul Grinder's just crab walking around to go kick some ass. Alright. This might be the end of Nakari, though. Very far away from any supporting forces. Even the supporting High Elves can't bail Nakari out of this ill-advised adventure, as the Fireborn now have us around, and the Heralds of the Wind look like they're busy chasing off Chaos Knights of Slaanesh. Don't want too much to do with this fight. Doesn't look like they have to. Nakari's putting in good effort to try and, you know, bail this situation out for himself, but I mean, he's just taking too much damage. He's gonna die. Teclis does have regrowth for his beloved Fireborn if he needs it, but he's instead gonna net Imric, trying to stop that breath attack that was coming in, and the Fireborn try and dodge. Good amount of damage, a little bit of friendly fire on Nakari, but it's fine. It's all good. Witstealer sword pops, but Nakari is gone. I don't know if it'll save Teclis's High Elves. Maybe it'll save Eltharion and Imric from the mind poisoning. But there is Lord of Dragons onto the Fireborn as they get surrounded by Eltharion and the Chaos Knights of Slaanesh. That might be GG. Teclis is taken out of the fight. Eltharion and Imric diving down onto Teclis. And in comes his last desperation, Fiery Convocation, as a final fuck you to the Slaaneshi forces. And actually, this was great from these two players, because the Keepers of the Flame with the Signs of Mathon are fine. The Shadow Warriors specifically avoided them. They were like, no, just kill the Slaaneshis, don't kill our brothers! Meanwhile, the Enchanted High Elves, enchanted by the powers of Slaanesh, completely body Teclis' army. They did not take any prisoners. All right. GG's to Olaf. We have 2 more games here from Mr. Incars. We have 2 games left, if I am correct. Mr. Cash. Yes, Cash and then Pigman. I have instructed Incars to take the remnants of Olaf the Moose's army. So he got Teclis, he got some Shadow Warriors. Then I downgraded the Fireborn, I upgraded the Illyrian Reaver Archers into Silver Helms, just for a bit more oomph. Sorry, I've not been super engaged with chat. There has been a lot going on, but Rukutu, if I said that right at all, first time catching live, love your content. Thanks, dude. Thanks. Send those 2 to the circus? Nah, dude, nah. Me and my brothers have been thinking about joining competitive, but work really makes it difficult. Send you a lot of love from Peru. Well, we have a fun Discord if you feel like giving it a shot. And if you don't feel like giving it a shot or you're busy or you just don't want to, I mean, content's still there for you. We have fun streams like this. Not everything is super sweaty and super try hard. We do try and mix it up from time to time. All right, so we're waiting for our next person. Johnny Cash should be here soon. We'll give them, I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes. If they don't show up, then we will ask Pigman to step in. There is Mr. Cash. I will think of a narrative and a map based on who he is picking. Looks like we have Khorne. If we are going with Khorne, then this is the map, but I'll wait to see if Johnny Cash readies up. Seeing as how their army was already built, I suppose that is it's just normal funds. So that might just be a default Khorne army. I don't know. We'll see. I'll wait for them to ready up before I do anything rash. And Nardu, it's not that I don't love you anymore. It's that I never loved any of you. Okay, he is building a new army, but he is going with Khorne. Got it. Incars is ready. His 3 big lords all ready to go. Limited army behind him. The remnants of what Teclis brought. I thought you said there were rules to this. Not really. We're just flying by the seat of our pants and having some fun. I mean, we obey the rules where if anything shatters or dies, it has to be cut from the build, but you know, giving Incars a Slaanesh army was just kind of like, yeah, his army is so small he's going to get instantly kicked to the curb, and I don't want the stream to end yet, so I'm going to give him an AI support army and see what the fuck happens with that. You just kind of... We're just rolling with it, it's fine. Not... just enjoy the ride. Alright. He's trying to figure out how to spend his last couple funds here. Incars is ready. Mr. Cash has the right amount of funds. We'll see if he readies up, then I'll ready up. Okay, seems like he's good to go. I'll unready if he does something incorrect, but seems like it's fine. There we go. So we're hopping in. Now, Eltharion and Imric fighting alongside the beautiful Elven Maiden, protecting the High Elf army from the forces of the Dark Elves. They both descend upon Morathi. And they're going to kill her. They're going to kill Morathi, and Morathi is surrounded by the Knights of the Ebon Claw. And as they're fighting that final battle, Morathi reaches up, and she hits her sword onto the Elven Maiden's throat, and she grabs her throat, gurgling, falling to the ground. And Imric and Eltharion both let out pained cries. No! The Elven Maiden, we failed in our mission! And as Nakari fades away, demonic instability disintegrating his body, the veil lifts from Imric and Altharion's gaze, and Morathi, who they were trying to kill, turns out to be Teclis, and Teclis is screaming at them, "What is wrong with you?" as he slaps them with his sickly little hands, just slapping away, because he was on a horse, and these two were on their monstrous, scary mounts, but he's just slapping in the face, and Altharion's like, stop it! And he grabs Teclis' withered hands, and he's like, we're good, we're here. And Teclis is like, what have you done? What have you done? He's crying and hitting Eltharion's chest plate as Imric lands next to him. And the remnants of Teclis' army rally up, and they are pissed at Eltharion and Imric. The Phoenix Guard and the Scions of Mathlon kind of form up a little spear box around their lords as the Shadow Warriors angrily move in, knocking their bows to arrows. But some Silverhelm scouts come up and over the horizon, breaking up the little High Elf inner fighting, and they're just like, Lord Teclis! Lord Teclis! Teclis breaks away, goes and takes a little meeting with his scouts, and he comes back and he's like, I don't have enough time for your foolishness. We have to get back to the boats. And the blood hunt is here. And there's a howl in the distance. Eltharion, worried it's Beastmen for a moment, sees Skarbrand and Karanak come up over the hills, and he realizes it's far worse than any Beastmen. Alright, for the challenging army, we have Skarbrand with his Rampage. Chosen of Khorne dual weapons, Minotaurs, Chaos Warriors with halberds, and then in the distance we do have Karanak, Hound of the Blood Hunt. But all three of the enemy characters are flying. It'll be rather difficult for this here boy to get any good hits in. Minotaurs of Khorne taking a bit of damage. Shadow Warriors do some kiting. Silverhelm's falling back. And Skarbrand's running forward, ready to get that rampage in, but he's got to be a little careful just because nothing is here to support him just yet. We have Chaos Warriors coming up, and Minotaurs coming in too, but Teclis is going to throw down an overcast net just before the Minotaurs can charge in. That was beautiful from Teclis, netting them right in place just as they were going to help out Skarbrand. Now Skarbrand is hit with Lord of Dragons. He is stuck fighting an awful lot of High Elves and taking a good amount of damage. But on the far side, Minotaurs and Karanak getting some decent damage in of their own. And the frontline fight should go very heavily to the Warriors of Chaos here. Khorne's lads fear nothing, but in comes a giant fiery convocation. Nice job, nice job. Good damage out. The Silverhelms, as has been the whole stream, the Silverhelms are getting eaten alive. And Skarbrand is still in the fight, enjoying his life to the greatest of his abilities. Now the Shadow Warriors are still safe and sound and firing for now, but it has cost a lot of Silverhelm blood for them to be kept that way. One Silverhelm's below half HP, the other is getting, okay, they're just around half as well. I was thinking they were getting closer to a third. Teclis even dives in to try and keep these guys safe. One of the Silverhelms is going to rout. Another one is thinking about routing. And when they go, the only things to stop the Minotaurs from rolling through the Shadow Warriors will be the big bodies that the Minotaurs hope to engage. Prey of the Blood God netting Eltharion in place. As Karanak, is he nearby? Where is Karanak? He uses his Hound summon. There's Karanak. And Eltharion actually does rout away from Skarbrand. Now, unfortunately, Skarbrand's Rampage can't keep Eltharion on the ground anymore. But Karanak is silencing Teclis right now, so Teclis can't cast a regrowth to save Eltharion. This might be the end of the Grim Warden on his long route to start this entire adventure off. Looks like he might just die as Scarbrand hits him in the back of the head with an axe. He's desperately trying to kill him, but Eltharion looks like he will get into the sky. Unless Karanak can stop him. No, he can't. Eltharion is safe and sound up in the sky where he belongs as Shadow Warriors are getting eaten alive by Karanak's summon. I wonder if Karanak or Scarbrand should go over and deal with these Shadow Warriors they're finally so close to. But back in the main fight, Imrik is stuck at all these halberds. Chosen of Khorne, grinding through the Keepers of the Flame and the Scions of Mathlon. And I honestly don't know who is going to win, but Eltharion's back! Oh no! He shouldn't have rallied! Not that the player could do anything about it, but he really didn't want to rally as he gets rampaged, dragged back to the ground, and that's gonna be the end of him. No shot, he lives through this as Scarbrand caves his head in with an axe. Oh no! A disaster for the High Elf morale as Eltharion is finally taken down. Now, Teclis is actually their lord as far as leadership goes, but you just gotta imagine, after everything they've been through with Eltharion, when he gets completely dicked like that, you just hate to see it. Bounce power is very even. The High Elves down on damage value, but of course they had more money coming into this as per usual, so they're doing okay. Silver Helms are not shattering, so they will be around for the next and final game if we get one. Now, Khorne could still just flat out win this, and actually I do wonder if they've gotten enough kills for a Sword of Khorne, though I suppose the High Elf army was already rather limited in model count. It's not really something they're going to be missing here, as one of the Shadow Warriors gets taken out. Out of the 3 Shadow Warriors, I can still see them all, so none of them maybe slipped away under the cover of darkness while I wasn't looking. That one's getting nice and low. Will it shatter? This other one's also taking some damage. But Minotaur, Scarbrand, and Karanak are not the best at chasing down multi-entity models, so we'll have to see. A Silver Helm escaped to safety, so it will come back next game. They will rally on the outside of the battlefield and come back just fine. No issues there whatsoever. As these Shadow Warriors are getting nice and low, I need to position my camera like this just so I can see the Shadow Warrior. Sorry about that. If you want some more close-ups of the action, I unfortunately need to be able to keep track of what's going on here. More Shadow Warriors are routing. There we go. One Shadow Warrior has shattered. So Eltharion has died, and a Shadow Warrior have died so far, as Scarbrand and the other boys take these guys down. Teclis is chasing off a Minotaur. Shadow Warriors and Silver Helms could also be doing some chasing action while Imrik peels off Chosen. And Teclis can have some healing, so I think the High Elves should survive to our finale. Pigman, if you're out there in the audience, do prepare your build to see if you can take down the loathsome High Elves. Chaos Warriors getting chased off by Imrik. Silver Helms have taken up the mantle of chasing off the Minotaurs while Teclis returns to the fight and gives a regrowth to Imrik himself. And these Chaos Warriors of Khorne are going to try and chase down the Shadow Warriors, but the Shadow Warriors are elusive prey. So those guys should be safe and sound, honestly. Imrik lands in. A lot of shattering over here as the Keepers of the Flame, the Scions of Mathlon, Imrik rally to deal with Scarbrand and the boys who are coming back. Shadow Warrior actually rallied, which could be problematic. I think the High Elves probably want them to just go straight off the map and get to safety. Poking Breath Attack from Imrik gets decent damage down on the Minotaurs. No real issues there. But these Shadow Warriors, not so stealthy anymore. I wonder if Khorne's just going to walk up there and beat their ass, or if they're going to go for the final fight. Looks like they're going for the final fight. Rampages Imrik to the ground. Now the Minotaurs charge in. I would not be shocked to see a Horn of Khorne or something out, because this is just the final fight here. Wounded Prey, lowering Imrik's melee defense a little bit. Scarbrand needs to turn to get a shot or two off. Lord of Dragons is down. Reducing his stats by quite a bit, but he's still Scarbrand. He's still a tanky boy. Shadow Warriors firing in. They're doing okay. I gotta check in on that other one real quick. They did shatter. Yeah, they got caught and shattered, so we lost another Shadow Warrior. 2 Shadow Warriors and Eltharion so far have been taken out. Scarbrand fighting back heroically against Imrik, but it will not be enough. As you have to think he's going to die. He's sitting on some of the most elite spears and halberds in the game, getting poked at that while fighting a very strong duelist lord. That dog don't hunt. Another regrowth out for the Keepers of the Flame, just to make sure his army losses will hit. 2 Shadow Warriors and Eltharion are the final count. All right. Eltharion has been slain at last by Scarbrand and Mr. Cash. Now Teclis and Imric are going to lick their wounds and try and get home. Alright, I'm just getting our last player in here. This will be the last game of the night. We will see if Incars lives through everything, or if he will fall. I'm booting Johnny Cash not because you're a bad person, but just because we gotta make space. Now, you might say it's a little disingenuous to say, does Incars survive through it all, when we gave him another army at one point. That's okay. He played great. Olaf would have taken him out if we hadn't pulled some shenanigans, but then the stream would have been too short, but not long enough to, like, you know, I didn't want to just end it there, but I also didn't want to get a new King of the Hill and go a whole nother thing, because I was hoping to be done around 2 hours. So, that would be bad. Incars is ready. Pigman and the Wood Elves figuring it out. Is the Great Oak coming? Oh, but the extra army was exciting storytelling. True, dude. True. If you like this content, if you like some more creative stuff than just tournaments all the time, 1, subscribe to the channel. That's where you'll find it all. 2, hey, maybe get in the Discord and vote, because I'm sick of this. I'm sick of it. Look at this. Look at this. Come with me. Come here. You just come here, and then the thingy, and then this, and then that. Okay, so you go up to pull tournaments. And look at this. Look at this. Okay, that, it didn't used to be tied. Somebody tied it up, like, while we were streaming. But look how close it was to being another single faction tournament. Instead of Gladiator, the best format. The votes fucking tied right now. It used to be 12-13. Okay? Do you know? Look at this shit. Look at this. We almost had a boring-ass, stupid single faction tournament instead of Gladiator. Because you know why? Because you people don't vote for the fun stuff. Yeah, people don't vote for the fun things in life. You just make us do the same shit every single day. So get on the Discord and vote for the fun things. Do it! Yeah, I try to... Me and some other content creators occasionally poll for content. So you can get engaged and, like, actually help choose what content you want. That's this gutter runner role. Not everybody reads my server guidebook, but in there it does describe what the thing is. There it is. Gutter runners, people who opt into pings about polls for the channel and what tourneys we run. It's a little known role. I could do better to market it, but yeah. I do ping gutter runners whenever I ask people what kind of content we want to make this week, so. Yeah. Should be fun. Should be good. Pigman's messaging me. Oh, sorry. 2.6. He's asking how many monies he's supposed to have left over, and I ignored him because I'm a bad host. It's going to be Athelorn. Next time I vote for grinding stream of you versus SEPA best of 11. Well, then that would just be a SEPA 6-0. Easy clap. We're getting into our final game. And I already know what narrative I wanted for this. As soon as Pigman said Wood Elves, I was like, I got this. So Teclis and Imric get on their boats. Teclis tried to fight a Slaanesh army, got bodied by two of his own lords, then had to fight a Khorne army back to back from that Slaanesh fight, no rest between, and Eltharion died. So the army is in tatters, the army is feeling bad, they come home with under a quarter of what they left Eltharion's home of Torya Brest with. Only 2 units even came from Torya Brest, the rest were picked up along the way. It's just defeated. But with their wounds, and with their aches and pains, and just being tired, they're coming from the north, right? So it's on the way. They're going to visit Alariel, the Everqueen, and the Averlorn Forest. It's magical, it's a place of healing, it's a place of calm. But as they get into the Averlorn Forest, something's not quite right. The trees are always alive. They've always been alive. But they're angry. They're bitter. They're not usually that way. They're a little spooky, but they're not usually this malicious. And as Imric and Teclis push deeper and deeper in with their army, they get wary. And they get that prickling on the back of their neck that something's not quite right. When one of the trees leans down in their face and says, "Our deal has run its course," and a big amber sword swings at Teclis. Teclis hops back, gets onto his mount, and is like, "Durthu, what is the meaning of this? We elves are brethren." Durthu's like, "The time of the tree has come." And Orion blows the horn of the wild hunt. "The time of the high elves is no more. Wood Elves own the world now." The remnants of the High Elf army, thinking they were safe in Ulthuan, rally together for one last stand. Can they hold Ulthuan, or will the Wood Elves invade it from within? Wild Hunters of Kurnos, Orion, Durthu, some Wardens of Sithril, Sister of the Thorn, and then a bunch of Glade Guard and Hawkeyes of Drakira. It is a Wood Elf proper ambush of mostly archers. Hawkeyes of Drakira are slaughtering these Silverhelms. Even gold chevron Silverhelms can't stand up to them with the Sword of Daith lowering their armor. And all that damage, the Silverhelms are dead and gone. Now, we don't have to pay attention to what shatters or what routes, because this is the final battle for all the marbles. Can the High Elves hold on to Ulthuan? It is up to Imric and Teclis to do it, but it's looking a bit tough as the Wood Elves are off to an early point lead and an early balance of power lead. The Grey are routed off. Silverhelms are dead. Keepers of the Flame and Signs of Mathlon are holding for now, but in comes a big overcasted net to hold them all in place, and a fiery convocation as Imric is in there bundling up these poor High Elf, Wood Elf archers. Very good play there from Inkars. That was just a cool combo, and I liked that a lot, as the Hawk's Talon from Orion hits the Keepers of the Flame and the Signs of Mathlon a bit, but Teclis has been caught on the ground. Sword of Teclis is popped. He's throwing out Flocks of Doom to try and save himself, doing anything he can to try and get to safety, as Orion has joined in, and King of the Wild Hunt is pretty good at hunting them there birds, as the Wood Elves are pulling further and further ahead. The High Elves were just too damaged. The High Elves were just too tired from their long journey fighting chaos. They weren't ready to be betrayed in their own homeland. Imric throws out a vengeful breath attack. Looks like he's going to dive in for a final stand next to Teclis, as it always should be. The rest of their infantry has been destroyed. Their cavalry's gone. The Grey are firing in, but they are no match for all of the Wood Elf archers that are nearby. And friggin' Imric is going to die before he even hits the ground. Though he does technically get down here, Orion's going to stab him in the back. Army losses is coming in soon. And elves killing elves. Just another day. Thanks so much to everyone who played tonight. Thanks to Inkars for being our Gladiator. Thanks to Pigman for coming in with the steel chair to end out the stream right. Killing it. Olaf, Mr. Cash, Hayseed, Gotrek, and Angel. I believe I got everybody off memory. If I didn't, then I'm a shitty person. But thanks, everybody. I really like Gladiator. I have a ton of fun. And people usually don't take it too seriously, which is a good change of pace. He had a good run. He had a good run. They're angry. Why did Orion sound like he's part of the Empire? I don't know. What about the tabletop army tournament? Sure. We can. Okay, too. I'll make a note. Jeremy also wanted us to do a Kill the King, so let's do Kill the King. And then Tabletop Army is pretty good. You'd have to do some limitations, because in the current state of the game, it's pretty easy to just grab a Steam Tank, and it's like, ooh, no, risky. My Steam Tank can kill everything. Another thing that's coming up next week, which I might get Pigman for, if he's not busy being a butt. I was going to try a new format called Survival that I think could be fun. So, like, it would be... I think 3 is probably the best. I'm still working on it, so this is a theory, right? You'd have each player pick 3 factions. Like, let's say one player picks, like, High Elves, Dark Elves, and Warriors of Chaos. The other side has Chaos Dwarves, Norska, and... fuck it, Wood Elves, right? So you have this. Like, it would be 2 players just playing... Sorry, not a 3v3. I know that's not a great way of showing it, but it's like 2 players are fighting each other. Like, Pigman and, let's say, like, you know, Kaiju. Anti-Kaiju. Something like that. And Pigman has Dark Elves, High Elves, and Warriors of Chaos, and Kaiju has Chaos Dwarves, Norska, and Wood Elves. It's like, game 1, maybe you have Warriors of Chaos versus Chaos Dwarves. And Warriors of Chaos lose. They get eliminated, but Chaos Dwarf stays. So now Pigman or whoever still has... Sorry, that would be Kaiju in this example. Kaiju still has Chaos Dwarves, Norska, and Wood Elves. Pigman's down to Dark Elves and High Elves. Now let's say the next game goes, and somehow you end up with a matchup of High Elves versus Norska. Let's say Norska wins again. High Elves are gone. So now Pigman's down to just Dark Elves, and his opponent still has all 3. Now let's say Dark Elves fight Norska, and Dark Elves win. And then Dark Elves fight Chaos Dwarves, and Dark Elves win. And then Dark Elves fight Wood Elves, and Dark Elves win. Pigman could still win. I think that'd be fun. Kind of like an elimination thing. You know? So as long as he still has, like, a life, and a life is a faction, he stays in it. That's something I wanted to try out. Gladiator next week. I won't do it every week or people get tired of it, but I love Gladiator. It's my favorite format by far. But I have more creative content for you people. I just needed time to make it, but this is that time. I am trying to put a lot more effort into making fun content now that the wedding and my job has calmed down and I'm not sick anymore and the Warpstone Cup is done. I just have a little bit of time to sprint out some less serious content. Pigman, you always win. Dude, all right, so you're still in the chat. How do you feel about that? Do you like that idea? Would you want to do that or not? You can say nah if you don't want to. But, like, after that explanation, does that sound like a fun thing or not? Because I can find someone to fight you, but with the 1v1, I want to find someone of equal skill. So if you're playing, I'll need to find someone, like, pretty good. So I kind of want to find one player than the other instead of just throwing out feelers and asking a bunch of people. And, like, not to be a dick, but let's say you get a new player versus, like, Pigman or Sipa, and it's like, oh, okay. Like, this is not going to be a very entertaining series because you got, like, some of the best players we have versus a fucking new player. Like, that's just not fair to anybody. So, yeah, it could be fun. Could be fun. I'm going to shut the stream down. I could just message Pigman on Discord instead of being lazy and trying to talk to him through the stream. So, I'll go. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.